Here we have a somewhat complex naming example, but if we break this down step by step, we can generate the systematic IUPAC name for this compound. If we look at all of our functional groups, you should find that the amide is the highest priority functional group. So we have that here, and if that's our highest priority group, our parent is going to be based off of the amide. So if we pick our amide carbon and then highlight the longest continuous carbon chain, we get this as our parent chain. From here, we can go ahead and number our carbons. Okay, and we have an 8 carbon chain, which does come from octane, but since we have an alkene, we would say octene. Now, amides are derived from carboxylic acids, so if this were carboxylic acid, we would call it octenoic acid, and for the amide group, we drop the oic acid and change that to amide. So our parent is octenamide. We'll also go ahead and specify our double bond location at carbon 3 by putting that in front of the parent. Okay, you could also see this written as oct3-enamide. Okay, depending on whether you're using newer or older IUPAC naming. The next thing we'll do is go ahead and classify any of our stereochemistry. Now we won't go through in detail how to get our stereochemical designations, but the double bond, our two highest priority groups are on the same side, so this is a Z double bond, and then we have this chiral center at carbon 6, and if you want you can even draw in the hydrogen there. If you prioritize your groups, you'll find that this has an S configuration. So that's our stereochemistry. The next thing we want to do is go through and identify all of our substituents. On the amide nitrogen, we have an N-propyl. We have an N-methyl. Okay, working our way down our chain. Since this aldehyde is coming off of the parent, we call this a formal group. Okay, and then, it's not a very good M, but formal, F-O-R-M-Y-L. And then on carbon 4, we have a methyl. On carbon 5, we have an oxo. And on carbon 6, we have a cyclopropyl. Okay, now we have all of the information we need. We just have to put our name together. Let's start with our stereochemical designators. We have 3Z and 6S, but since there's only one double bond and one chiral center, you really don't need to specify the numbers. So we can just do in parentheses Z, comma S. Okay, next we'll alphabetize all of our substituents. First comes the C in cyclopropyl. So we have our 6-cyclopropyl. Next we have the F for formal, 3-formal. Okay, after that we have an N-methyl and a 4-methyl. Okay, so we'll do this. We'll combine them together as a dimethyl. We'll do N, 4 dimethyl. Okay, the next thing is the O and oxo. We have 5-oxo. And then we have an N-propyl. So that takes care of all of our substituents. And then all that's left is our parent, which is 3-octenamide. And that would be the IUPAC name for this compound.